Good evening, friends. Important video for handholding of GSTR 9 and 9C for the financial year 22-23. In this webinar, we are going to discuss the crisp and important point, how you're going to file your GSTR 9 and 9C. What are the relevant tables which need to be filled up by all registered person who are filing GSTR 9 and GSTR 9C. Let's start with first. If you are a registered person and your aggregate turnover is up to 2 crore, then you are exempted from filing GSTR 9, which is annual return, as per section 44, read with rule 80 of CGST rules. So अगर आपकी aggregate turnover 2 crore तक है, you are exempted. You need not require to file GSTR 9. GSTR 9C, important one. If your aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore in financial year 22-23, then only you are required to file GSTR 9C, which is self-certified reconciliation statement. So it is not required to be certified by practicing chartered accountant or cost accountant. It is self-certified reconciliation statement. Only when your aggregate turnover is more than 5 crore. So in between 2 to 5 crore, quite obvious, annual return GSTR 9 is mandatory, compulsory. But 9C is not required. When your aggregate turnover more than 5 crore, then of course GSTR 9 and GSTR 9C, both are important. But you will first file your GSTR 9, then 9C get enabled and you will file 9C. Simple. अगर 2 crore तक है, GSTR 9 नहीं भरना. 2 से 5 crore है, GSTR 9 भरना है आपको, बट 9C नहीं भरना. अगर 5 crore से ऊपर है आपकी एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर, तो 9 भी भरना है और 9C भी भरना है. This part is clear. Point number 2. What is the meaning of aggregate turnover? Section 2, subsection 6 of CGST Act. Aggregate turnover means the turnover which is sum total of taxable supplies, all taxable supplies, inter, plus exempt supplies. Exempt supplies being defined under section 2, subsection 47 of CGST Act, and which includes nil rated, exempted by way of exemption notification. So for goods, 2/2017, and for services, 12/2017, and even includes non-taxable supplies. So non-taxable supplies again being defined under section 2, subsection 78 of CGST Act. Non-taxable supplies mean any supply of goods or services or both on which tax is not leviable, GST not leviable under the GST law. So in the name of exempt supplies, you need to add nil rated, exempted, and non-taxable supplies. Plus export turnover, you need to include so taxable supplies, exempt supplies, and export turnover pan-India basis under same PAN number. So for example, you are a registered person as a company and you have taken 4 registration in 4 different states. So you're having 4 distinct GST registration and turnover in all the 4 states, let's assume 1.5 crore per registration, 1.5 crore. So meaning thereby total age 6 crore. But per registration only 1.5 crore. Question is, and which you should answer. Of course, I'm going to give you the answer, but you should try out. Do you require to file GSTR 9 per registration? Because turnover in that per registration is only 1.5 crore. But sum total, pan-India basis, under same PAN number is 6 crore. Then quite obvious, GSTR 9 and 9C, both are required to be filed. This registered person. Hope I'm clear to all of you. This is the first part of the story. Second part of the story. GSTR 9, it divided into 6 parts. And there are 19 tables, 19. 6 part में है और 19 tables हैं. GSTR 9C 5 part में है और 16 tables हैं. 5 part and 16 tables. Important, right? Now we have to fill up 9 and 9C. And I'm going to discuss many case studies. But for clarity purpose, let's try to understand. There are 2 broad category bucket. The first bucket is your outward supply, which may include advance plus your reverse charge liability inward supplies on which GST is payable. Or there may be a case that your outward supply, there is no GST payable. So we will discuss all these components table-wise. You have to focus here. For filing 9 and 9C, again the important aspect which we must keep in our mind that our data pertaining to outward supply, reverse charge liability, plus advance on which GST is payable or GST is not payable need to be divided into 2 buckets. The figure of April 22 to March 23 into 1 bucket. And another bucket would be which is pertaining to financial year 22-23, but you are showing in a period April to October 23. This bifurcation is equally important even for your GST input tax credit, availed or reversed. So April 22-23, credit taken in 22-23, credit of 22-23 availed or reversed in a period April to October 23, 2 bucket. So I'm going to explain everything in a detailed manner. Kindly take a note of it. Now, to start with, what I will do, I will tell you some basic and then I will guide you how you'd be preparing yourself. And later part of this presentation, I will do the case study where we are having a lot of practical questions and we are looking for the answer. Let's start with the first one. In GSTR 9, as I have clearly said, divided into 19 tables. Let's look at the first important one. Table number 1 to 3 of GSTR 9 It's only introduction, your GST number, your name, trade name, etc. It actually starts from table 4. Table 4 से start होती है. Table 4 is capturing your outward supply, which may be B2B, B2C, even your export with payment of taxes, supply to SEZ unit with payment of taxes, deemed export, everything. Plus inward supply on which you are liable under reverse charge method. So that inward supply जिसके ऊपर आपको reverse charge में liability pay करनी है. Plus advance against supply of services. Advance against supply of goods आपको मालूम है GST नहीं देना. कब से नहीं देना? 15th of November 2017. यानी गुड्स के ऊपर अगर आपने एडवांस लिया है तो जीएसटी नहीं लगेगा. किस पे लगेगा? सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विसेज पे लगेगा. यानी उस एडवांस के ऊपर जो आपने जीएसटी पे किया, बट कौन सा कैप्चर करना है? जिस एडवांस पे आपने जीएसटी पे कर दिया, इनवॉइस रेज कर दी है तो नहीं दिखाना. अगर इनवॉइस आपने रेज नहीं की है, ओनली दैट इज गोइंग टू बी कैप्चर्ड. सो एडवांस अगेंस्ट सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विसेज, GST paid but invoice is not raised, need to be captured. Corresponding adjustment, debit note, credit note and adjustment pertaining to all these, B2B, B2C, export, SEZ, on which GST is payable. Please be clear now and take a note of it. I will show you that form also for your clarity purpose. Data pertaining to 22-23, pertaining to outward supply, inward liable for RCM, and advance and corresponding adjustment on which GST is payable of 22-23 shown in 22-23 need to be captured mandatorily in table 4. So this table 4, all the fields must be mandatorily reported. आपको सारी फील्ड को रिपोर्ट करना है. टेबल 5 में क्या आएगा? टेबल 5 में GST is not payable. GST is not payable. So that may be in case of export, which is zero rated without payment of taxes, supply to SEZ unit without payment of taxes, your exempted supply, nil rated supply, even they are saying non-GST supply, aggregate turnover only talking about non-taxable supplies, but here GSTR 9 table 5 is talking about non-GST supply. So this point is very important and we debate in the market also. Let's say you are a registered person in GST. You may have a sale from petroleum products, 9.5 crore. Only 50 lakh from supply under GST. So total 10 crore. Do you require to file GSTR 9 and 9C? Importantly, because table 5 of GSTR 9 is talking about you should show non-GST supply, which includes no supply. Thereby, they want us to fill up 9 and 9C also for this specific cases. Hope I'm clear. So table 5, you need to capture your outward supply plus the supply on which recipient liable under reverse charge. GST not payable. GST not payable, unexempted, nil rated, and corresponding adjustment, table 5. You need to capture data of 22-23 shown in 22-23 on which GST is not payable. All these fields are important, mandatory, except nil rated can be clubbed with the exempted supply first. And the figure of adjustment, debit note, credit note can be clubbed together. So this is the two exception. Otherwise, all the fields under table 5 are mandatorily to be reported. So hope this table 4 and table 5. Data of 22-23 pertaining to your outward supplies shown in 22-23, table 4 GST payable, table 5 GST not payable. आपने दिखा दिया. The corresponding impact will go in table 9. Tax payable, GST payable and GST paid either through e-cash ledger or through e-credit ledger. Table 9 going to capture. So your GST liability of 22-23 shown and paid in 22-23 going to be captured in table 9 of GSTR 9. So table 4, table 5, table 9. Now coming, there may be a case that some outward supply adjustment or incremental liability by way of debit note pertaining to 22-23, you are showing in a period April to October 23. Table 10. Table 10. Incremental, where liability increasing either through adjustment or plus debit note. Wherever you are issuing a credit note or doing any adjustment pertaining to outward supply pertaining to 22-23 but showing in a period April to October 23, आपको टेबल 11 में लेके जाना है, where liability is decreasing. Table 11. Table 10, where liability is increasing, incremental. Table 11, when liability is decreasing, but important aspect, it is data of 22-23, but shown in a period April to October 23. And corresponding impact because of table 10 and 11. Any tax liability increases and paid to be shown mandatorily in table 14. Table 14. Yani table 10, table 11 and table 14 मैंडेटरी है, आपको दिखाना पड़ेगा, बिल्कुल दिखाना पड़ेगा. सिंप्लिसिटी क्या रही कि जो 22-23 का डेटा है और आप अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 23 में दिखा रहे हैं, लायबिलिटी इंक्रीज हो रही है बिकॉज ऑफ एडजस्टमेंट और डेबिट नोट टेबल 10, लायबिलिटी डिक्रीज हो रही है टेबल 11, corresponding impact tax payable and paid table 14, mandatorily reported. अब एक बार समराइज कर लें जिससे क्लैरिटी हो जाए. pertaining to outward supply, कोई एडवांस जिसपे जीएसटी आप पे करते हैं अगेंस्ट सप्लाई ऑफ सर्विसेज, प्लस any inward supplies on which RCM you are paying, then you need to keep in your mind in simple language 22-23 का डेटा pertaining to 22-23 अगर आप 22-23 में दिखाते हैं तो टेबल 4 में आएगा. सारी फील्ड मैंडेटरी हैं, सारी फील, इवन डेबिट नोट, क्रेडिट नोट, एडजस्टमेंट, सब कुछ, एडवांस, सब कुछ। टेबल 5 जहां जीएसटी नॉट पेएबल, मैंडेटरी रिपोर्टेड, एक्सेप्ट मैंने आपको बता दिया था कि नील रेटेड को आप एग्जेम्प्टेड के साथ क्लब कर लीजिए, और डेबिट नोट, क्रेडिट नोट, एडजस्टमेंट जो है उसको आप क्लब कर सकते हैं। टेबल 5 जीएसटी नॉट पेएबल। टेबल 9 22-23 का डेटा 22-23 में दिखाया, और उसकी वजह से जो टैक्स पेएबल निकला और आपने पेड किया, टेबल 9 में कैप्चर होगा, जो आप 3B के जरिए पे करते हैं। सो 22-23 का डेटा 22-23 में दिखाया, टेबल 4 जीएसटी जहां पे पेड होगा, टेबल 5 जहां जीएसटी पेड नहीं होगा, टेबल 9 जहां आप टैक्स पेएबल, जीएसटी पेएबल और पेड दिखाते हैं, आइदर थ्रू ई कैश लेजर और थ्रू ई क्रेडिट लेजर। ये हुआ आउटवर्ड सप्लाई के ऊपर। अब आते हैं जीएसटी इनपुट टैक्स क्रेडिट के ऊपर। टेबल 6 इंपॉर्टेंट। टेबल 6A आपका ऑटो पॉपुलेट होगा टेबल 4A ऑफ जीएसटीआर 3B से। सो आपने 3B में जो भी क्रेडिट 22-23 की 22-23 में दिखाई है, the credit pertaining to 22-23 shown in 22-23 gets auto-populated in table 6A, and it is capturing from table 4A of GSTR 3B. So table 6 is important for availment of credit of 22-23 shown in 22-23. Table 7 talking about reversal. Reversal may be on account of Rule 37, where recipient fails to pay within 180 days. Table 39 pertaining to ISD credit reversal, anything. Rule 42 and Rule 43, which is reversal of common credit. Input and input services 42, capital goods, Rule 43. Reversal on account of 17 subsection 5, which is negative less barred credit. You are reversing these credit, this reversal along with transitional credit. Am I right? So table 7 is again you need to capture. Now here they are giving some relaxation to you. What they are saying, and importantly you should bear in your mind, that you can club all the reversal and show in table 7H, 7H, except reversal on account of transitional credit, Tran 1 or Tran 2. That is what the notification number 38/2023, dated 4th August 23, instruction how to fill your 9 and 9C, is saying that table 7 को आप ये जो रिवर्सल कर रहे हैं, आप इन सबको क्लब कर लीजिए और टेबल 7H में ले जाइए, और जो ट्रांजिशनल क्रेडिट है ट्रैन 1 ट्रैन 2 की वजह से, बट उसको आपको अलग से दिखाना पड़ेगा. But my submission and advice to all of you would be, you must be knowing that since August 2022, August 22, which is in the financial year 22-23, it was compulsorily required in 3B, in GSTR 3B, to show the numbers, fact and figures number pertaining to credit reverse, but you will reclaim later. That may be on account of Rule 37. Recipient fails to pay. Are you recalling? Within 180 days. So you have to reverse, and whenever you pay, you will reclaim the same. Sometime credit coming in 2B, but goods are not being received. So we are reversing, but we will reclaim further. So table 4B1 of GSTR 3B wanted us to show the credit which is ineligible. Rule 42, Rule 43, 17 subsection 5. We will not get the credit, but 4B2 of 3B is saying that we are reversing, but we will reclaim. And whenever we reclaim the same, we show it in table 4D1 plus 4A5 of GSTR 3B. हम 22 अगस्त से दिखा रहे हैं. इवन GSTR 9 आपसे कह रहा है कि आपको ये क्लब कर देना है जितने भी रिवर्सल हैं, इनएलिजिबल क्रेडिट है. बट मेरी सबमिशन, माय एडवाइस टू ऑल ऑफ यू वुड बी, आपने डेटा कैप्चर किया होगा. You must show these data separately in table 7. So pertaining to 22-23, you are reversing in 22-23, table 7 going to be important one. Table 8, important, your reconciliation of credit with GSTR 2A. So table 6, 7 and 8. Where 22-23 credit availed or reversed, shown in a period 22-23, table 6 for availment, table 7 for reversal, and table 8 for reconciliation. 6, 7, and 8. Now coming to the table number 12 and 13. 12 talking about your sum credit of 22-23 you were supposed to reverse in 22-23, but you did not do that. You did it only in a period April to October 23. 22-23 की क्रेडिट आपको रिवर्स करनी थी, आपने 22-23 में नहीं की, आपने की अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 23 में. तो आपको टेबल 12 में दिखाना है, टेबल 12 में दिखाना है. और टेबल 13 में क्या दिखाना है? 22-23 की क्रेडिट जो आपको 22-23 में लेनी थी, आप नहीं ले पाए, पर आपने लिया अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 23 में. तो टेबल 13 में आप दिखाएंगे, टेबल 13 में दिखाएंगे आप. But table 12 and table 13 is optional. So this is how the instruction to fill up your GSTR 9. So clarity for ITC, 22-23 credit availed or reversed, shown in a period 22-23. Keep to your mind table 6, 7, and 8. Now 12 and 13 very important. So again I'm repeating, the credit which was supposed to be availed for financial year 22-23, but you did not avail in 22-23. You availed in a period of April to October 23. So table 13 plus table 8C, table 8C, just note down, even though optional, but we should show the numbers. We should fill up the numbers. 22-23 credit need to be reversed in 22-23, but you did not do. हमने नहीं किया. 22-23 में सब क्रेडिट मुझे रिवर्स करनी थी, मैं नहीं कर पाया. मैंने रिवर्स किया अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 23 में, टेबल 12, इंपॉर्टेंट वन. सो यानी मैंने आपको आउटवर्ड सप्लाई और ITC pertaining to relevant table of GSTR 9 I've explained. Some more item and then we will touch base 9C and then all case study for resolving lot many queries. Now table 15, where GSTR 9 is demanding we must furnish data pertaining to any demand and refund. Table 16, supplies received from composition dealer or deemed supply because of job worker, or goods sent on approval but did not receive back within defined time period. Table 16. Table 18, HSN or SSC code for inward supply. Optional. आपको नहीं भरना है. Table 15, refund and demand. Table 16, supplies from composition dealer, deemed supply, goods sent on approval, did not receive. Optional. Table 18, HSN or SCC code for inward purchase. आपको नहीं भरना है, ऑप्शनल है, नहीं भरना है. बट टेबल 17 आपको भरना है, मैंडेटरी. Table 17 talks about HSN SSC code for your outward supply. And you must be knowing that registered person having aggregate turnover up to 5 crore, he is compulsorily required to quote 4-digit HSN code or SSC code for all B2B supply, B2B. For B2C, optional. Wherever it is more than 5 crore, it is 6-digit compulsory, whether it is B2B or B2C. Compulsory. And table 17 of GSTR 9, which is pertaining to HSN SSC code of outward supply, need to be captured. आपको mandatorily report करना है. And table 19 now. Table 19 is what? Late fees payable and paid for GSTR 9. So this is GSTR 9, 6-part, 19 tables. Coming back to GSTR 9C. Self-certified reconciliation statement. So again, divided into 5-part, 16 tables. Actually, starting from table 5. 5A is important. GST invites your turnover coming from financial statement, audited annual financial statement need to be captured. Table 5B, which is unbilling revenue, opening balance, need to be captured. Now, what they are saying, and importantly, they are mentioning here for filling up table 5C to 5O, it is required mandatorily to be disclosed. Mandatorily to be disclosed. That is what it is talking about. This instruction is talking about. Only for unbilling revenue, table 5B, opening balance, it can be shown in table 5O. So table 5A mandatory, 5C to 5O is mandatory, only 5B can be clubbed in 5O. This is what the instruction. Table 6 is a region for non-reconciliation of turnover, financial statement versus GSTR 9. Table 7, the reconciliation of taxable turnover, mandatorily to be reported. Table 8, region for non-reconciliation. Table 9, GST rate-wise tax liability, mandatorily to be reported and payable. 10, region for non-reconciliation. And table 11, where you are paying the differential tax payable and paid because of table 6A, 8A, and 10A. So this difference of tax payable is paid and shown in table 11, all mandatory. Table 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. It is all pertaining to outward supply. Table 12 is your ITC, input tax credit. And that table 12, you must be recalling credit pertaining to this financial year, what was there in preceding year, what you're availing in subsequent period, April to October 23, all need to be mandatorily reported. Table 12. Table 13, region for non-reconciliation. Table 14, again important. Expense-wise ITC need to be disclosed, but it is optional. So relaxation for you. Table 14 of GSTR 9C is optional. Table 15, the region for non-reconciliation. Because of table 13, which we have said, and that's what the region coming out because of table 14. Table 15 is being like a region for non-reconciliation, and table 16, you are paying the liability of GSTR 9C. GSTR 9C. So this is how it is being merged. Total 16 table of GSTR 9C. Let me again rephrase for ITC. Table 12 mandatorily. Table 13 is the region for non-reconciliation. Table 14 is optional. Expense-wise details need not require to be mentioned. Table 15, region for non-reconciliation of ITC. Table 16, where any difference coming out and you are paying the liability. This is what 16 table of GSTR 9C pertaining to 22-23. Now we have to take it further, that case studies, different case studies for 9 and 9C. Now, I will definitely give you the answer, but I really want that each one of you should try out. And you should always give the answer. Of course, after asking query, I'm going to give you the answer, but you must try out your best from your side that what could be the answer. So let's start with the outward supply, and then we will touch base input tax credit. Let's start with the first one. If outward supply, let's say 100 rupees, as per financial statement, 100 rupees, shown correctly in GSTR 1 and 3B in 22-23. So 22-23 data correctly shown in 22-23. Which table is going to be important? Where GST is payable, table 4 and table 9. Table 4 and table 9. Any adjustment, let's say by way of debit note or credit note, pertaining to 22-23 data shown in 22-23, which table going to be relevant? Table 4 and table 9. Because adjustment thereof gets adjusted, and accordingly tax payable will come out in table 9 and tax paid through table 9. So 22-23 data shown in 22-23 and their adjustment shown in 22-23 table 4 and table 9, where GST is payable. Coming back to another case study. Let's say some adjustment of 20 rupees or debit note pertaining to outward supply of 22-23 you did not show in 22-23. You have shown in a period April to October 23. Which table? Table 10. Table 10. Incremental liability. And wherever you are reducing the liability through adjustment or credit note pertaining to 22-23 but shown in a period April to October 23, table 11 of GSTR 9. And the net effect of table 10 and 11 through which you are paying the tax in table 14 of GSTR 9, compulsory, mandatorily to be reported. Hope you have understood the bifurcation of bucket. 22-23 का डेटा 22-23 में दिखाया, टेबल 4, 5, 9. 22-23 का डेटा अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 23 में दिखाया, टेबल 10 जहां पे लायबिलिटी इंक्रीज हो रही है, टेबल 11 जहां पे लायबिलिटी डिक्रीज हो रही है, और कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग इंपैक्ट टेबल 14 जहां पे आप टैक्स पे करते हैं बिकॉज ऑफ टेबल 10 एंड 11 टेबल 14 में आप दिखाएंगे. ये हुई पहली केस स्टडी. अब मैं दूसरी केस स्टडी करता हूं. आप लोग आंसर भी कीजिए, कोशिश कीजिए कि आपका आंसर क्या है. फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट में मान लीजिए 100 रुपए है, 100 रुपए बुक्स में 100 रुपए की टर्नओवर है. आपने GSTR 1 में भी 100 रुपए दिखाए हैं, 100 रुपीज, करेक्ट. बट 3B में आपने 80 रुपए दिखाए हैं और 80 रुपए पे टैक्स आपने पे किया है. तो किस टेबल में आपको करेक्शन करना है? स्टार्ट थिंकिंग. किस टेबल को आप करेक्ट करेंगे? विच टेबल यू आर गोइंग टू करेक्ट इट? Your table 4 of GSTR 9 is getting captured from GSTR 1, 100 rupees, which is correct. Table 9 of GSTR 9 going to be captured from 3B, which is only pertaining to 80 rupees. So difference of 20 rupees, still you have to pay the tax. So tax payable is getting auto-populated on 100 rupees because of table 4, but tax paid is coming only on 80 rupees. So differential tax to be paid on 20 rupees in table 9 through DRC 03. से आपको पे करना पड़ेगा. Along with interest. Only point which we can discuss, can we pay our liability through credit, e-credit ledger? Possible. Relevant. You can pay through e-credit ledger, but please bear in your mind that it is properly being captured. So table 9, there would be payable on 100 rupees, paid only on 80 rupees, differential on 20 rupees, you have to pay through DRC 03 along with interest from due date of payment of tax till actual date of payment. Reverse case, as per financial statement 100 rupees, correct number, outward supply, but GSTR 1, you have captured only 80 rupees, 80. 3B, you have correctly paid the taxes on 100 rupees. Possible. 100 रुपए बुक्स में, बट 1 में only 80 rupees. 3B में आपने करेक्ट 100 rupees पे टैक्स पे कर दिया है. Which table you are going to correct in GSTR 9? Table 4 of GSTR 9 getting auto-populated from GSTR 1, right? वो 80 रुपए से auto-populate होगा. जबकि टेबल 9 में आपने टैक्स पेड किया है 100 रुपए पे. सो पेबल दिखा रहा होगा 80 पे, पेड हुआ है 100 पे. तो टेबल 4 को एडिट करना पड़ेगा. टेबल 4 ऑफ GSTR 9 उसको 100 रुपए कर दीजिए. तो फिर क्या होगा? आपका पेबल भी 100 पे आ जाएगा और पेड तो आपने 100 पे किया ही है. गेट्स मैच. होप क्लियर. सेकंड केस स्टडी. Come to the third case study. Wrongly paid taxes. कई बार होता है ना. It was IGST liability, Delhi to Maharashtra, but wrongly captured as CGST and SGST liability. Possible ना, हो जाता है ना, कई बार मिस्टेक हो जाती है. And this mistake has happened. What you are going to do? And that is important one. और हमको समझना है कि हम इसे करेक्ट कैसे करेंगे. So let's listen very carefully, very carefully. आपको जो करेक्ट टैक्सेस पे करने थे आपने रॉन्गली कैप्चर्ड कर लिया और रॉन्ग टैक्सेस आपने पे कर दिया। तो कैसे करेक्ट करेंगे आप, किस तरीके से करेंगे? मैंने आपको क्या बताया कि आपकी आईजीएसटी की लायबिलिटी थी, पर आपने कैप्चर्ड क्या किया? C+S। तो टेबल 4 में आपने C+S कर रखा है, पे भी आपने C+S कर रखा है टेबल 9 में। अब आपको क्या करना है? पहले टेबल 4 को करेक्ट कीजिए, add IGST liability and delete C and S, which was wrong on our part. Add IGST liability in table 4, and because of this, tax payable in table 9 will get created for IGST. And table 4, you are again editing your C+S, you are deleting that one, but you have paid C+S. So table 9 will show that you have paid C+S. So the impact would be IGST liability which now got created, you need to pay. You need to pay by DRC 03. And whatever you have excess paid C+S, you need to claim refund. You need to claim refund. There are two more questions pertaining to this. Now you are correcting IGST and you did not pay IGST when it was supposed to be paid. You wrongly paid C+S, right? With the interest is leviable. With the interest is leviable. That is my question to all of you. Because section 77 read with section 19, section 77 of CGST Act read with section 19 of IGST Act. Please tell me, with the interest is leviable, fortunate part, no interest, no interest, no interest leviable. You just pay IGST liability. Wrongly paid C+S, now you will claim refund. So once you pay IGST liability, you're entitled to claim refund for C+S, which you have wrongly paid. Time period 2 years from the date you pay IGST liability. Hope this is clear to all of you. Hope this wrongly sown, wrongly paid taxes, how to be corrected, I'm clear. Coming to now, spillover effect. Spillover effect. What is spillover effect? Let me tell you very clearly. Let's say your turnover for 22-23 is 100 rupees. But GSTR 1, which you have filed in 22-23, is having turnover of 120. For the region, 100, which is of 22-23, but 20 rupees turnover, which was pertaining to 21-22, shown in a period April to October 22 in table 10 of GSTR 9, which you have shown in GSTR 9 while filing 21-22, but you have captured only in this period April to October 22, which was pertaining to 21-22, gets captured and merged with the turnover of 22-23. Very simple. 22-23 की टर्नओवर 100 रुपए थी, बट GSTR 1 जब आपने भरा तो उसमें 120 रुपए आ रहे हैं, 120 is coming. 100 फॉर 22-23, 20 रुपए वो थे जो 21-22 के थे, बट आपने अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 22 में दिखाया ऑफ 21-22, तो वो GSTR 1 में आ गया ऑफ 22-23, और आपकी टोटल टर्नओवर दिखा रहा है 120 रुपए। इसको हम कहते हैं स्पिल ओवर इफेक्ट। इसको कैसे करेक्ट किया जाए और हमारे पास क्या ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल हैं? पहला ऑप्शन, when I'm filing GSTR 9 for financial year 22-23, the first could be leave as it is, कुछ मत कीजिए। आपका टेबल 4 अब GSTR 9 22-23 जब आप भरेंगे तो 120 से ऑटो पॉपुलेट हो रहा होगा, जबकि आपकी एक्चुअल टर्नओवर 100 रुपया है, राइट? रहने दीजिए, बट एक रिकंसिलिएशन बना लीजिए आप, जो आपने बनाया होगा। उस रिकंसिलिएशन में ये क्लियर होगा कि जो 120 रुपए 22-23 के 1 में ऑटो पॉपुलेट हो रहे हैं, कॉरस्पॉन्डिंग टैक्स आप पे कर रहे हैं, ये 20 रुपए आपके GSTR 9 ऑफ 21-22 टेबल 10 एंड टेबल 14 में कैप्चर हो रहे होंगे, राइट? हो रहे होंगे, वहां से रिकंसाइल कर जाएंगे। एंड whenever you are getting any scrutiny or audit notice for reconciliation, you must show this reconciliation. This is the one way to do that. Another way could be when you are correcting these numbers, then what is the impact going to be? आपने मान लीजिए इसको करेक्ट कर दिया, 120 को आपने 100 कर दिया टेबल 4 में जाके, टेबल 4 में जाके आपने 100 कर दिया, टेबल 9 में भी करस्पॉन्डिंग इंपैक्ट आपका आ गया उस तरीके से, राइट? तो आप करेंगे कैसे, किस तरीके से करेंगे चीजों को? तो कई बार आपको ध्यान रखना पड़ेगा हम चीजें कर कैसे रहे हैं, उसका रिकंसिलिएशन आपको बना लेना है। अगर आप कीप एज इट इज करते हैं तो GSTR 9C, अब GSTR मान लीजिए आपने 120 दिखा दिया, आपने चेंज नहीं किया, जिसको मैं अभी कुछ देर पहले आपको समझाया, तो 9C में आपके पास क्या होगा? आपकी बुक से 100 रुपया आ रहा होगा टेबल 5A में, टेबल 6 में रीजन फॉर नॉन रिकंसिलिएशन 20 रुपए पर्टेनिंग टू 21-22 सोन इन 22-23, जब आपका वो टर्नओवर GSTR 9 से मैच करता है। दिस इज द वन वे जब आप 9C भर रहे हैं। और अगर आप 9C नहीं भर रहे, तो मैंने आपको बताया कि आपके पास रिकंसिलिएशन बना हुआ होना चाहिए, जिससे कल आपको शो कर दें, आप दिखा दें कि ये डिफरेंस है, ये चीजें हैं, इस तरीके से। Coming to the last component of outward supply. Pertaining to advance, please give me the answer which I'm looking from each one of you. Advance. 100 rupees advance of 22-23. Supply of services, not again supply of goods. GST is payable. You have raised the invoice for such advance to the tune of 60 rupees. Only 40 rupees is left out, on which you have paid the GST on advance, but you have not raised the invoice. Which figure you are going to capture? Tell me, 60 or 40? Advance on which GST is being paid, but invoice is not raised, need to be captured for GSTR 9, which is 40 rupees. 40 rupees. And that is how you will fill up your outward supply in GSTR 9 and 9C. Now let's start with the input tax credit, and we will discuss all permutation combination, that case studies where we are finding a lot many challenges today, and we will discuss those components one by one. The first one, 22-23 credit shown in 22-23. Which table is important? Availed in 22-23. Table 6 of GSTR 9. Hope clear? 22-23 credit need to be reversed, and that to reverse in 22-23. Which table? Table 7. Table 7. Credit pertaining to 22-23 but availed in April to October 23. Availed in April to October 23. यानी 22-23 की क्रेडिट आपने 22-23 में नहीं ली. आपने कब ली? अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 23 में आपने ली. किस टेबल में दिखाएंगे? टेबल 13 एंड टेबल 8C. टेबल 8C. होप आई एम क्लियर. 22-23 की क्रेडिट आपको रिवर्स करनी थी. यू वर सपोज टू रिवर्स क्रेडिट of 22-23, but you did not do in 22-23. You reverse in a period April to October 23. Which table? Table 12. Table 12 of GSTR 9 going to be important. This part is, hope I'm clear to all of you. Come to the second case study. Let's say book credit is 100 rupees. Book credit is 100 rupees. Correct. Credit which is coming in your 2A or 2B is also 100 rupees. Match with the book. But credit availed in 3B and which is getting auto-populated in table 6A of GSTR 9 is 80 rupees. Difference is 20 rupees. So 2A, 2B showing 100 rupees matching with the books of accounts, but 3B is only showing 80 rupees. What to be done? Which table of GSTR 9 need to be filled up? So you know that there may be a case you have not availed the credit. It was available to you, or it was available but ineligible. That is the reason you have not availed. Might be a case. So table 8E and table 8F of GSTR 9 going to be important. ITC available but not availed, table 8E, or not eligible, table 8F need to be captured. Because time period for availing credit, time limit as per section 16 subsection 4, 30th November for financial year 22-23, the last date for availing credit as per section 16 subsection 4 is 30th November 23. So 2B was showing 100 rupees, 2A was showing 100 rupees. So the component 20 rupees. And it has got very, good arithmetics, And that is what it is going to be captured in table 8E and 8F. It's all coming automatically when you're filing your GSTR 9. Let's take another case study, the reverse one. Book credit 100 rupees. Book credit 100 rupees. But 2A, 2B showing only 80 rupees. Only 80 rupees. But you have availed credit to the tune of 100 rupees in 3B. What to be done? So question is 2A, 2B में तो 80 rupees ही आ रहा है. और आपने availed कितना कर लिया? 100 रुपए का. तो 20 रुपए की क्रेडिट तो आपके 2A, 2B में आ नहीं रही है. तो आप क्या करेंगे? और क्यों नहीं आ रही है उसका रीजन क्या हो सकता है? रीजन कुड बी द फर्स्ट वन कि आपके सप्लायर ने अपना जब GSTR 1 भरा तो B2B सप्लाई को B2B नहीं दिखाया, B2C दिखा दिया. उसने गलत GST नंबर डाल दिया. आपका डालना था, पड़ोसी का डाल दिया. आपके 2A, 2B में नहीं आ रहा. एंड मे बी ए केस कि जो आपके सप्लायर को GSTR 1 फॉर द मंथ ऑफ अक्टूबर, जो लास्ट मंथ है अक्टूबर 23, जो भरना था बाय 11th of November, जो मंथली फाइलर है, and through invoice furnishing facility till 13th of November. 22-23 का डेटा था, 22-23 की आउटवर्ड सप्लाई थी, बट सप्लायर को जो अक्टूबर 23 में दिखानी थी और अपना मंथली GSTR 11th of November को फाइल करना था, या pertaining to invoice furnishing facility QRMP 13th November को फाइल करना था, उसने टाइम से फाइल नहीं किया। उसने फाइल ही किया मान लीजिए मंथली वाले ने 12 को और इनवॉइस फर्निशिंग फैसिलिटी वाले ने 14 नवंबर को, तो आपके 2B में ऑटो पॉपुलेट नहीं होगा, नहीं होगा। तो आपको क्रेडिट मिल जाएगी क्या? आपने तो 3B में क्रेडिट ले ली है 100 रुपए की, जबकि 2B में आ रही है ओनली 80 रुपीज, 20 रुपए का डिफरेंस है। क्रेडिट मिल जाएगी क्या? प्लीज बी केयरफुल, बी केयरफुल नाउ। For availing credit, section 16 subsection 2 is very, very clear that you should satisfy the condition. You should have tax invoice. You must have received goods or services. Your supplier must have paid taxes. You as a recipient regularly filing GST return, and whatever credit availed in 3B must be matched with GSTR 2B. And this condition got notified from 1st January 2022, applicable for 22-23. यानी अगर 2B में नहीं आएगा ना तो आपको क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगी, इट इज गोइंग टू बी डिस्प्यूटेड, क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगी। हैंस जो आपने 20 रुपए की क्रेडिट एक्सेस ले ली है वो आपको रिवर्स करनी पड़ेगी। रिवर्सल रिक्वायर्ड, विच टेबल देन? आपको 22-23 की क्रेडिट 22-23 में रिवर्स करनी थी, नहीं किया। अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 23 में भी आपने रिवर्स नहीं किया। अब 9C भरते वक्त करना है, क्या करें? टेबल 7H ऑफ GSTR 9 और इसकी करस्पॉन्डिंग लायबिलिटी आपके पास टेबल 9 में आ जाएगी। Then you need to pay this liability. Then you need to pay this liability, differential amount which is not matching with GSTR 2B. Come to the next case study, important one. Wrongly availed credit. होता है ना कई बार, IGST की क्रेडिट लेनी है पर क्रेडिट मैंने रॉन्ग बकेट में ले ली, C and S में ले ली। होता है ना कई बार, गलती हो जाती है। I should have availed under IGST bucket, but I have availed in bucket of C plus S. क्या करूं? 99C भरते वक्त मुझे क्या करना है? What I need to do? Listen very carefully. Important one. If you have availed under C plus S, whereas it should be IGST, then quite obvious, table 6A of GSTR 9, which is auto-populated from table 4A of GSTR 3B, it will show C plus S, right? Wrong bucket. What you need to do? Option number 1. Table 6B, you should add under IGST, which is correct table, correct bucket. Put it under IGST. IGST में डाल दीजिए और C and S को माइनस कर दीजिए. Add IGST minus C and S. What is the impact? Go to table 8A of GSTR 9, which is auto-populated from GSTR 2A. आपके सप्लायर ने तो करेक्टली IGST दिखाया था, तो 2A भी आपका IGST से ही ऑटो पॉपुलेट हुआ है, टेबल 8A। अब टेबल 8B ऑफ GSTR 9 क्या होगा? वो कैप्चर करेगा आपका डेटा टेबल 6B एंड टेबल 6H से, टेबल 6B एंड टेबल 6H से। व्हाट यू हैव डन, आपने टेबल 6B में जाके करेक्ट कर लिया था ना, आई में ऐड कर दिया, सी और एस को आपने हटा दिया। अब आपने आई को डाल दिया तो 6B भी आई दिखाएगा और 2A से भी आई आ रहा है, मैच। फिर कोई डिफरेंस नहीं रहा, फिर कोई डिफरेंस नहीं रहा। सो रॉन्गली अवेल्ड क्रेडिट इन रॉन्ग बकेट गेट्स मैच, आपका मैच हो गया। आई होप आई एम क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू, आपको समझ में आ गया होगा। बट कुछ क्वेश्चन हैं इससे रिलेटेड, कुछ क्वेश्चन है मेरे। आपने C+S में रॉन्गली अवेल्ड कर लिया था, राइट? यही था ना, होना चाहिए था IGST। ये रिवर्स केस भी तो हो सकता है कि आपने आई में अवेल कर लिया, रॉन्गली अवेल्ड कर लिया, होना चाहिए था C+S में। तो जैसे मैंने आपको सजेस्ट किया एकदम वैसे ही आप करेंगे। तो आप जस्ट स्टीरियोटाइप नहीं सोचेंगे, इट मे बी अदर वे अराउंड ऑल्सो। सो आपको उसी तरीके से करेक्ट करना है। अगर आपने मान लीजिए रॉन्गली IGST में ले लिया और C+S होना चाहिए, तो आप क्या करेंगे? आई से माइनस करेंगे टेबल 6B में और C+S में ऐड कर देंगे। टेबल 8A में C+S ऑटो पॉपुलेट हो रहा होगा, टेबल 6B से अगेन C+S चला गया, मैच कर गया, सिंपल। तो इतनी बात तो सबको समझ में आ गई, बट जो क्वेश्चन है उसको ध्यान से सुनिए। अगर आपने IGST की क्रेडिट गलत ले ली, अब हम 9(9)C भरते वक्त उसको करेक्ट कर रहे हैं। You have availed wrongly IGST credit and utilized also. Because first we need to exhaust IGST credit. That is the formula for utilization. And I have utilized this wrongly availed credit. Whether interest is leviable under section 50 subsection 3 of CGST Act. Whether interest is leviable. Please tell me interest is leviable. That's what I'm looking for. And my answer to all of you would be no interest. As clarified in circular number 192, dated 17 July 2023. If sum total of I plus C plus F is always higher than the amount wrongly availed and utilized. होप आपको समझ में आ गया होगा। अगर मेरा सम टोटल IGST, CGST, SGST is much higher than the amount wrongly availed and utilized, तो interest नहीं लगेगा. No interest going to be leviable. So this is very interesting and important how to correct. But what about the penalty now? We know there are a lot of dispute going on, right? No interest if wrongly availed credit, but not utilized, right? No interest. Section 50, subsection 3, that too with retrospective date, July 1, 2017. But penalty ka kya kare? Under section 73, non-fraud case, under section 74, fraud case. Kya kare? What to be done? Right? I have put one video on my YouTube channel. You must watch. Deepak Sales Corporation, Punjab and Haryana High Court judgment. In that judgment, it is being held no interest, no penalty. If credit wrongly availed but not utilized, no penalty. The important fact of the case, which you can watch later, but quickly, telling all of you, 1.40 crore credit wrongly shown as a 14.05 crore. Excess credit of 12.65 crore availed, which was later reversed by the registered person before utilization. And it was intimated to the authority also. They have relied pre-GST judgment and say to Honorable Court that since it is wrongly availed credit but not utilized, no penalty. So Honorable Punjab and Haryana High Court, you can watch that video also. No interest, no penalty if wrongly availed but not utilized. Going to help you out. So this is on wrongly availment. What about spillover effect? Spillover effect. Next case study. Similar. 22-23 की क्रेडिट है, मान लीजिए 100 रुपया, बुक्स में भी 100 रुपया, लेकिन आपने 120 रुपये 3B में दिखा दिए, जिसमें 20 रुपीज आपके 21-22 के थे, 21-22 के, बट यू हैव सोन इन ए पीरियड अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 22. टेबल 13 और टेबल 8C आपका 21-22 का GSTR 9 दिखा रहा है कि 20 रुपए आपके 21-22 के थे, बट आपने अप्रैल टू अक्टूबर 22 में लिए हैं, एंड समवॉट इट इज फॉलिंग इन द पीरियड फाइनेंशियल ईयर 22-23, इसीलिए क्रेडिट टोटल 120 आ रहा है, टोटल 120 आ रहा है, बट होना कितना चाहिए? 100 रुपए. अब क्या करें, इसका क्या करेक्शन कर सकते हैं? फर्स्ट, टेबल 6 से आपका ऑटो पॉपुलेट होगा 120 से, रहने दीजिए, कुछ नहीं करना, कोई करेक्शन नहीं करना, बट रिकंसिलिएशन मेंटेन कीजिए, क्योंकि आपके पास GSTR 9C 21-22 का है, आपने टेबल 13 टेबल 8C ऑफ GSTR 9 ऑफ 21-22 में 20 रुपए दिखाए हैं, वहां से मैच हो जाएंगे, सो करेक्शन करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है. दूसरा ऑप्शन, करेक्शन कर लीजिए, 120 से ऑटो पॉपुलेट हुआ टेबल 6A ऑफ GSTR 9, बट टेबल 6B में जाके 100 रुपए कर दीजिए, तो डिफरेंस आ जाएगा टेबल 6M में. उसका रीजन तो है ही हमारे पास, पिछले साल का GSTR 9, टेबल 13 एंड टेबल 8C, सो वहां से मैच हो गया आपका. तीसरा ऑप्शन रहने दीजिए, 120 से ऑटो पॉपुलेट हुआ टेबल 6A, रहने दीजिए, कोई दिक्कत नहीं. जब आप GSTR 9C में जाएंगे तो टेबल 12 एंड टेबल 13 ऑफ GSTR 9C वो आपसे बोलेगा रीजन फॉर नॉन रिकंसिलिएशन, तो आप वहां दिखा देंगे 20 रुपीज पर्टेनिंग टू 21-22 सोन इन ए पीरियड 22-23. So region for non-reconciliation. So these are the alternative available to you for correcting spillover effect. Last component of this today's, some reverse charge liability, RCM liability. You are a recipient, you need to pay reverse charge liability. What to be done? There are two situations coming out, and listen very carefully. This is the prominent question I get from different corner trying to clarify. If there's a registered supplier, I'm the registered supplier. I have supplied notified goods or services for which you are liable under reverse charge. So when I'm filing my GSTR1, I've ticked subject to RCM and raise the invoice to you. It has gone to you. You have not paid RCM liability. You have not paid reverse charge liability. This is the situation, right? Another situation could be I'm unregistered supplier and you are liable for RCM, GTA transporter. You are liable for RCM. Now, when I'm unregistered, I'm not filing, I'm not raising any invoice, not filing any GSTR1. You, as a recipient, need to pay the liability and avail the credit. Now, dispute pertaining to, I'm filing my 99C for 22-23. But what happened if you come across, let's say, a particular invoice of an advocate raised on 1st January 2019. 1st January 2019, pertaining to 18-19 financial year. That invoice was not paid as yet, and it is coming on my table today in December 23. What to be done? Can I pay RCM liability? Am I supposed to? I've not paid any amount to the advocate as on date. I've not paid any amount to the advocate, though I'm having invoice from advocate for 10 lakh rupees. Subject to RCM. I've not paid any amount to the advocate pertaining to 1819, dated 1st January 2019 invoice of an advocate. What to be done? Quite obvious, advocate is unregistered. When your liability arises as per time of supply provision, section 13, subsection 3 of GST Act. Earliest of to date of payment, जो आपने कभी किया ही नहीं, date following the end of 60 days from the date of invoice. So 1st March 2019 is the POT, point of taxation, time of supply. आपको पे करना था, आपने नहीं पे किया, तो आपको पे तो करना पड़ेगा आरसीएम लाइबिलिटी, चाहे आज नहीं कल करना तो पड़ेगा, और वो भी along with interest. So RCM liability to be paid in cash, interest भी देना पड़ेगा in cash. अब क्वेश्चन ये है, 1819 की लाइबिलिटी अगर मैं आज पे करूं, मुझे क्रेडिट मिल जाएगी या नहीं मिल जाएगी, पहली बात, और दूसरी अगर मिल जाएगी तो मैं GSTR 9 में कहां पे कैप्चर करूं, GSTR 9 में कहां पे कैप्चर करूं, यही क्वेश्चन है हम सबके सामने. ध्यान से सुनना है आपको. अगर ये रजिस्टर्ड सप्लायर होता ना और सब्जेक्ट टू आरसीएम होता, तो क्वाइट ऑब्वियस रजिस्टर्ड सप्लायर ने टैक्स इनवॉइस रेज किया होता, अपने 1 में डाला होता, टिक कर दिया होता सब्जेक्ट टू आरसीएम, और सप्लायर की इनवॉइस ही एलिजिबल डॉक्यूमेंट थी आपके लिए फॉर अवेलिंग क्रेडिट सब्जेक्ट टू पेमेंट मेड अंडर आरसीएम रूल 36(1)(b). आपने पेमेंट नहीं किया और पर्टेनिंग टू 1819 था, आपको क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगी इस केस में. बट सेक्शन 16 सबसेक्शन 4 टाइम लिमिट, क्रेडिट टाइम लिमिट गॉन, नहीं मिलेगी आपको. लेकिन ये अनरजिस्टर्ड सप्लायर है, सब्जेक्ट टू आरसीएम है, लाइबिलिटी आपकी 1819 की है, द गुड विंडो इज क्रेडिट इज अवेलेबल, क्रेडिट इज अवेलेबल. क्या प्रोविजन है? आपको अपने आप को सेल्फ इनवॉइस रेज करना था. रिसिपिएंट नीड टू रेज द सेल्फ इनवॉइस अंडर सेक्शन 31 सबसेक्शन 3 क्लॉज एफ. आपको रेज करना था. आप आज की डेट में, लेट्स से 10 दिसंबर, व्हेन आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग दिस वीडियो, 10 दिसंबर 2023 को सेल्फ इनवॉइस बना दीजिए पर्टेनिंग टू 1819. आज की डेटेड बना दीजिए. सेल्फ इनवॉइस बना दी और लाइबिलिटी आप आरसीएम की पे कर दीजिए अलॉन्ग विथ इंटरेस्ट. आपकी इंटरेस्ट तो वहीं से लगेगा, पॉइंट 1 मार्च 2019 से, पॉइंट ऑफ टैक्सेशन, पर आपको क्रेडिट मिल जाएगी. नॉन कॉम्प्लायंस क्या हुआ कि आपको जो सेल्फ इनवॉइस तब रेज करनी थी, तब आपने रेज नहीं किया, आज आप रेज कर रहे हैं, सेक्शन 125 की आप जनरल पेनाल्टी लग जाएगी आपके ऊपर, लेकिन क्रेडिट आपको मिल जाएगी. अब ये जो आरसीएम की लाइबिलिटी 1819 की थी, आज आप पे कर रहे हैं 99C में, आप कहां कैप्चर करें? आप पूछेंगे मुझसे कहां कैप्चर करें, तो एक प्रेस रिलीज आई थी जो 3 जुलाई 2019 में आई थी. उनने कहा था कि आरसीएम की लाइबिलिटी है और अब जिस साल में आप पे करते हैं, आप उस साल के 99C में दिखाएंगे. तो यानी 1819 की आरसीएम की लाइबिलिटी फ्रॉम अनरजिस्टर्ड सप्लायर आप दिसंबर 23 में पे कर रहे हैं, तो आप दिसंबर 23 के 3B में दिखाएंगे. टेबल 3 में जाके लाइबिलिटी क्रिएट करेंगे, टेबल 4A में जाके 3B के क्रेडिट अवेल करेंगे. ऑफ कोर्स इंटरेस्ट के साथ पे करना है, बट क्रेडिट मिल जाएगी. इंटरेस्ट की क्रेडिट आपको नहीं मिलेगी दिसंबर 23, और 22-23 के 99C में नहीं दिखाना. अब एक किस में दिखाया जाएगा? 23-24 के 99C में. That is what the press release 3rd July 2019 is talking about, and thereby you are getting the credit. Of course, penalty for not raising self-invoice, which is eligible document, subject to payment of taxes, Rule 36(1)(b). This is what RCM, मैंने आपको ये एक्सप्लेन कर दिया. अब मैं आपको कुछ पॉइंटर्स दे दूं, इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंटर्स. लेट फीस कितनी लगेगी 99C के लिए, या 99C की अलग अलग है? एक ही लेट फीस है, 9 including 9C. If your aggregate turnover up to 5 crore in 22-23, then 50 rupees per day, C plus S, yani 25 CGST, 25 SGST, subject to maximum of 0.04%, 0.04% of turnover of respective state or union territory. अगर आपकी एग्रीगेट टर्नओवर 5 से 20 करोड़ है, 100 रुपीज पर डे, C plus S, subject to 0.04% of turnover in the state or union territory. अगर आपकी टर्नओवर 20 करोड़ से ज्यादा है, 200 रुपीज पर डे, C plus S, यानी 100 रुपए CGST, 100 रुपए SGST, subject to 0.5% of turnover of that particular respective state or union territory. This is late fees, and table 19 of GSTR 9 going to capture late fees payable and paid. It is for including GSTR 9C. This is late fees. Coming back to one of the important aspects which we must know whenever you are preparing 9 and 9C, you must create a good backup, good reconciliation. For outward supply, you first take out your invoice, all taxable invoice. Look at the classification, HSN code, SSC code, respective GST rate applied. This is the last opportunity to cross-check and verify. Do all analysis, audit, even though it's a self-certified reconciliation statement, but last opportunity, take out those invoices, see your classification is correct. See correct HSN SSC code is being applied. See correct GST rate is being applied. Prepare the reconciliation with your eBay bill generated, whatever taxable invoice, and then eBay bill generated. eBay bill can be generated even for a transaction which is other than supply on delivery challan. So you should have reconciliation prepared. eBay bill generated versus taxable supplies versus other than supplies. So the reconciliation is prepared. Tomorrow, if audit coming up, at least you have all data ready. So book turnover, where shown in the 1 and 3B, corresponding eBay bill generated. There's no book turnover, but eBay bill generated against delivery challan. Reconciliation must be prepared. And provision of e-invoicing is important also. If you are a supplier, and you must be knowing the threshold was initially 500 crore, October 2020, reduced to 100, 50, 20, 10, and 5 crore from 1st August 2023. Then you need to generate e-invoice. Check whether you're generating e-invoice as per the threshold which I've stated of aggregate turnover in any of the preceding financial years starting from 17-18. This is the provision. Lot many videos I've made. You can watch those videos. You need to generate e-invoice. If you have not generated e-invoice, then there is two problems. First, you are liable for penalty. And second, your buyer will not get credit on simple tax invoice, which is otherwise to be e-invoice from the supplier. आपके बायर को क्रेडिट नहीं मिलेगी. Rule 48 सब Rule 4 of CGST rules. अगर सप्लायर ने ई-इनवॉइस जनरेट करना है तो करना है, अगर नहीं किया तो प्रॉब्लम। 15 दिसंबर 2023 से अब तो उन्होंने कह दिया है कि जो इनवॉइस आप जनरेट करते हैं ना, उस पे 6 डिजिट HSN कोड और SSC कोड आप डालेंगे। लॉट ऑफ कॉम्प्लायंसेस, ये रिकंसिलिएशन आपको बनानी है। बुक्स एंड 3B, तब जाके 99C भरी है, लेकिन बुक्स से पहले 1 से पहले चेक कीजिए ईबे बिल डेटा, टैक्स इनवॉइस जो आपने जनरेट की है, इसकी क्लासिफिकेशन, करस्पॉन्डिंग रेट, so that at least this is the time you are doing everything reconciled. ये opportunity बाद में नहीं मिलेगी आपको. And once you have done it, you are prepared for any audit by the department, any scrutiny assessment under section 61, ASMT 10 आता है ना, कुछ नहीं. So cause notice, कोई problem नहीं. But once this is being done, you are well prepared. Even for ITC, input tax credit, you should have a relevant document in your possession. You must satisfy the condition of section 16, subsection 2, cross-check. As a recipient, are you having tax invoice? Have you received goods or services? Your supplier has paid taxes. You are filing regularly GST return under section 39(3)(b), and credit availed in 3B must match with GSTR 2B. I've explained. If your supplier monthly filer, October 23, the important monthly return, supposed to be filed on 11th of November 23, but he did not file, he filed on 12th of November. Then it is not going to be auto-populated on 14th of November. Can you avail credit? Because 2B is one of the condition. It should be availed in auto-populated in 2B. Then only you can avail in 3B. So these are the factors you need to cross-check and verify. Even for the reversal of 22-23, whether you have done it or not properly. If you have done it, that's okay. If you haven't done it, last opportunity, cross-check and verify. Now 3B is the important aspect, table 4B1, table 4B2. You must know 4B1 में वो बोलता है जो क्रेडिट आपको कभी मिलनी नहीं है वो डाल दीजिए आप. 17 सबसेक्शन 5, रूल 42, रूल 43 डाल दीजिए आप. ये क्रेडिट आपको नहीं मिलनी है. 4B2 में आप वो क्रेडिट डालिए जिसको आप रिवर्स करेंगे, बट दैट वुड बी रिक्लेम लेटर, जो आप टेबल 4D1 and 4A5 subsequent tax period में दिखाएंगे. Lot of things is evolving and developing. Hope you are understanding the meaning of this reconciliation of 9 and 9C. It has to be done thoroughly. आपको proper तरीके से करना पड़ेगा. चीजों को चेक करना पड़ेगा, वेरीफाई करना पड़ेगा, और करके चीजों को क्लोज करना पड़ेगा. मैंने कोशिश की आपको 9(9)C को तैयार करने के लिए. And with this video, I've tried my best that I can give you the input, hand holding, जिससे आपके लिए 9 और 9C easy हो जाए. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned. Thank you very much.